against SV Mühlhausen. Gazprom then making quick work of AS Pontoise Cergy. Slight surprise at how disappointing the French side's season was, but TTC Faco Gazprom just too strong for them. While UMMC, well, they took care of Mühlhausen, but it wasn't easy. Losing the second leg 3-2, but doing the business in the first to make sure that their place in the semi-finals was taken care of. TTC Faco Gazprom, 3-time runners-up, 4 times they've taken the title. In 2012, where they beat UMMC in the final, of course, 2013, 2015 and 2017. Runners-up in 2011, 2014, and last year after losing to Borussia Düsseldorf in the final. As for UMMC, runners-up just the once, just one final appearance back in 2012, where they fell short against this same opponent, looking to make history. Faco Gazprom, of course, with the opportunity to go level with Borussia Düsseldorf and Royal Villers-Charleroi, the Belgian side with the most titles. Charleroi haven't been in a final themselves since back in 2010, so very much Düsseldorf and Orenburg taking control of this competition, but now UMMC getting their name in the mix as well. And it's Fang who gets off to a scoring start here. Ovtcharov just a little too heavy-handed, but the first point usually tells you very little about what's about to unfold. And promising stuff here from the UMMC man. Decent little rally. Dima just unable to get over the top of that one. And again, Fang really storming into this first game. Taking the game to Dima, which you feel is probably his only option. Famous backhand serve from Ovtcharov, and Fang not impressed. Off to a flying start here. Really aggressive right from the get-go. Confident finishes as well. Lovely inside-out forehand there to find the corner and go 4-0 up. Well, Dima finally off to the races as well. Slight miss-hit on the backhand there. And just catching the top of the net to take it long. An important point that as well, you feel, for the man in red. Just making sure Ovtcharov doesn't go on any kind of little run of his own. Keeps his 4-point cushion intact. And looking very confident here. Slight lapse in concentration there. But Ovtcharov starting to claw his way back now. Head coach Vladimir Endelov giving his statement before the game, saying just how in shape his players look, a good team spirit, a lot of confidence, and of course bags of experience, all elements that he think will give his side the edge here. You'd have to agree with him, really. Oh, lovely forehand there from Fang. Attacking the serve beautifully. Well, attacking the return, should I say. Of course, Ovtcharov with the serve there. Very nicely set up point. Well, back comes Ovtcharov again. There's becoming much more of an even affair now. The fear for Fang, of course, is once Ovtcharov does get going, he's very difficult to stop in his tracks. Well, went for the backhand down the line there again, unable to find the table. Just a little too heavy-handed again, Ovtcharov there. Too much length on that one, perhaps a little too much height as well. Just slightly cutting across it. Fantastic atmosphere here in the Sports Palace, and we do wonder just how much these fans will help the UMMC players. There is a saying in Russia, of course, even the walls help sometimes. Well, they certainly feel like they're doing their job here. Oh, fantastic stuff from Ovtcharov there. Had absolutely no right to come away with the point. I think even Fang slightly taken aback when the ball did come back his way. Never can give up on a point though. Not against Dima. Very nearly able to get that one back as well, but it's Fang who takes the point. Now 8-6 up as we head to the business end of this first game in match one. Now 9-6 up. Fang has worked his way into a very nice little position here. On the verge of the perfect start, not just to his match, but to this first leg for UMMC. Can he lead by example, set down a marker, and give himself and his teammates something to build on here? Well, Ovtcharov not going down without a fight, as per usual. Good serve there from Fang. Too hot to handle for Dima. Plenty of action on the ball there. And now 3 game points. Can't take it first time asking. Dima holds on. Of course, nothing lost by failing to win the first game. But Fang doing everything required so far. Question is, how long can he keep it up for? Well, he does take game one. 11-8 the score. Perfect start for that young man. And that will do his confidence the world of good. as he now knows he can take on Dima. Fang really winning that first game in the opening stages, the opening exchanges, all going his way. A really aggressive start and a fantastic way to approach this game. The only way you can, I think, with Dima is beat him at his own game. Really taking the game to his opponent and not waiting for points to come his way, but going out and securing them himself. So game 2 about to get underway here. Ovtcharov to serve. Well, again, it's an aggressive start, but Ovtcharov with some fantastic returns and defensive play there, excuse me. Lovely forehand. Working the angle beautifully, and Ovtcharov off to a good start himself now here in this second game. Vladimir Samsonov likes it, as does Yanan. So Ovtcharov just put off slightly by the camera behind his opponent. Another good serve from Fang as he levels things up at 2 apiece. 2 important points as well, because it looked like Ovtcharov was just starting to get into the mood there. And a miss there from Fang means Ovtcharov will retake the lead. And this really is a fantastic battle between these two already. Could very easily go to the wire. Big point there from Ovtcharov, straight down the middle into the midsection of Fang just couldn't get out of the way in time. Pace and power on the Ovtcharov forehand, getting the job done. Lovely return off the serve again from Ovtcharov. Well, it wasn't too far off finding the lip of the table there. Very nearly could have caught it. Get a closer look at it here. Well, perhaps a little wider than it first appeared. But it is better from Dima. And don't forget, of course, every point could count. Every game won could make a difference at the end of it all. Should we, for example, have a 3-2 here and then a 3-2 the other way in leg 2, it will come down to points and games. So every moment could affect the outcome of this final when it's all said and done. Ovtcharov just struggling to find any real consistency at the moment. Well, just too much height on the return, asking for trouble. Fang more than happy to oblige. No messing about either, straight down the middle. Not taking any chances. We're well aware of how vital each and every point can be. Ovtcharov still 6-5 up. So a timeout called. Both coaches already animated, very involved. You really can feel the tension and see it in the players, especially with Ovtcharov. Not always easy being the star player in a team. More often than not, in big games, big matches like these, you are the one who leads the charge. Sent out there to get a job done and set up your teammates' matches as well. Give them confidence, give them less work to do, and take responsibility, a role which Ovtcharov, more often than not, loves to take on. But at times, it does prove a little too much. So, just the 1 point separating these two here. After the timeout, Ovtcharov leads 6-5. Fang to serve. Off the top of the nets and long. Well, two very, very important points there for Ovtcharov, and you could see with that fist pump into the air just how important they were. Not just for the game, but for his confidence as well. And now storming forward, looking to take game two and level things up at 1 apiece. Fang just losing his way slightly since the timeout. Hasn't quite caught up to speed just yet, which could cost him. Decent serve. And they finished the match. Good table management there from the young man from China. Now 4 game points for Dima. Surely he won't throw this away. And there it is, the world number 12 just steadies the ship again for Orenburg. We're back to all square. Exactly the reaction his team would have wanted to see. And Ovtcharov delivers. Now this next game, you feel, could be the decisive one. Important for Fang to rediscover that aggressive and confident approach we saw in game 1. Didn't see enough of it in game 2. Instead it was Dima slotted into the driver's seat. And the longer the game went on, the better he started to look. Well, nervous times for some of the fans here who really do a fantastic job of getting behind their team, almost living and breathing every point with their players. Really is wonderful to see. And a big round of applause is in order for the Russian fans in general throughout this tournament. They really have been fantastic. They've filled up arenas and have really made this year's competition a spectacle. It's a good start from Ovtcharov. Good return off the serve. A little bit of good fortune involved there as well. But back comes Fang. I'll miss it there from Ovtcharov. You could see what he was trying to do. He saw Fang well out wide. Tried to cut it short and give him some distance to cover. Unable to find the table though. Well off the mark actually. And Fang returns the favour. 2-2 here in game 3. How about that from Dima? Fantastic stuff. And the aide to President Vladimir Putin. Well aware of how good of a shot that was. Igor Levitin liked what he saw there. Oh, wonderful rally. Great return from Bo. Oh, and just catches the top of the net there. Nothing Ovtcharov could do about that one. The perfect shot from the UMMC player. And a wonderful way to cap off probably the best rally of the match so far. We haven't had too many lengthy ones. Fantastic stuff again. Fang comes out on top with that, takes the lead. Well, this really is turning into a very entertaining match now. World famous Dima backhand serve there, but it doesn't turn out the way it normally does. Fang now with the 2-point cushion. 5-3 up. He's put himself into a good position now. Strong service game needed to try and build on this small and precarious lead. Oh, superb forehand. Lovely stuff from Fang. He's starting to find his rhythm again after a disappointing second game. right back in the mix now. 6-3 up. And backs it up with another one played in behind Dima there. Ovtcharov expecting it to come back across to his forehand. Wasn't the case, couldn't adjust in time, was already set up to take it to his right. Well, Ovtcharov does pick up a point, but it's thanks to Fang finding the net. The man from China's run comes to an end, but only momentarily. Back on track again, now 8-4 up. Ovtcharov with work to do and plenty to think about. Well, he very nearly caught the table there as well. Even when he's missing, he's not missing by much at the moment, which just goes to show that Fang is certainly the player with the momentum at the moment. And Ovtcharov with some catching up to do. Trails by 3. A little tactical exchange at the net there between both players. Which was then quickly spiced up with a bit of pace on the backhand from Dima. And back to within 1 now. Important for Fang to stop the rots, albeit a small one, which is why Zoran Primorac, the coach, quick to signal a timeout. Try and just put a bump in the road there for Ovtcharov. Take away some of the momentum that was building. I think the message for Fang will be more of the same. He's doing pretty much everything right so far. Fantastic performance. Very few unforced errors, a few in game 2, but I think that was more of a case of Dima dictating the pace of the exchanges and really shining a little brighter than Fang but it's been a great reaction here in game 3. But at 8-7, it's still anyone's game. This next point will be a big one. Oh, how about that for a return from Fang That was world class. Ovtcharov thought the point was already his. Holds his head in his left hand there. Slightly stunned by his opponent's return there. Oh, what a time to pull it off as well. 2 points away from going 2-1 up now, Fang Well, that's why he's one of the best in the business. Under pressure, comes up with a fantastic backhand down the line. Saw exactly Fang had positioned himself out wide, a little too far out wide. as would show. Saw the opening, quick to take it. And back to 9-9. What a roller coaster ride already here in this third game. Back and forth they go. Well, regardless of the outcome here in match one, Fang has done his reputation absolutely no harm, if anything. He's probably upped his worth in a few people's eyes. Oh, sensational stuff from Ovtcharov, digging deep in crunch time. Now with game point as well. He certainly found his mojo now, hasn't he? But Fang holding on and doing so emphatically. Lovely stuff, not a great rally, a short one, but well, really charged up exchange there between those two. You could almost feel the pressure with every hit from both players. But this is what separates the men from the boys. Oh, superb stuff again from both players. Fang just running out of steam at the end of that rally. On the attack the entire way through. And then Ovtcharov turning the rally on its head right at the end. Game point again for Dima. Good serve, but he can't come up with the finish to back it up. Not happy with himself. Dimitrij Ovtcharov there, and Fang handed a lifeline, if you ask me. Good serve. The return was poor from Fang. He knows it. Got away with that one. Well, Ovtcharov will be frustrated with that because his initial three returns were absolutely world class. That first backhand, simply superb. But then, fourth time asking, perhaps one too many. And now Fang with a golden opportunity to go 2-1 up here in this scintillating third game. Catches the top of the net, and Dima sends it long. Fang takes the lead, 2-1, having taken game 3, 13-11. What a battle that was, but this battle overall far from over, you feel. Another look at some of those mouth-watering exchanges between these two players. What a way to kick off this final. Really has had everything tension, passion, emotion, and world-class table tennis. What more can you ask for? Well, how about another handful of matches after this one? It doesn't get much better when it comes to European table tennis. With Ovtcharov and Fang giving us, the fans, you the viewers, the final we were all hoping for. So Ovtcharov to get game 4 underway here. Fang just catching the top of the net there during that exchange, quick to apologise, although I'm sure he won't be too sorry. And again, superb return. Playing out of his skin at the moment, Fang, because Ovtcharov hasn't been poor. Just hasn't been better than Fang. Finally off the mark and on the scoreboard now, though. Another good serve. Really has been a part of his game that's, well, shone bright here so far in this final. Hardly put a foot wrong in that department, Fang. Well, there could be a let here. So the point will be replayed there. I'm not quite sure. Perhaps something a little wrong with the serve from Ovtcharov. He will now pick up a point, thanks to the unforced error from his opponent. And that will certainly help the cause. Fang 4-2 up here. 7 points away from taking match 1. And giving UMMC the perfect start to this first leg. Well, back comes Dima again. Very little to separate these two, apart from in game 1, where Ovtcharov was just a little slow to get going. But he's certainly back up to speed. And the 2 errors from Fang have allowed him back into this 4th and possibly final game. Well, no mistakes that time, as it just bounced up kindly for him. Now the UMMC players and coaches on their feet, trying to rally behind Fang one more time. Oh, great exchange, lovely rally. And more often than not, the longer the rally, the more likely Fang has been to take the points. When looking back at how they've unfolded up until this point, not the case that time. Off the mark there, Ovtcharov. Doing a really good job now. Although you have to say he hasn't really had to work too hard for the majority of his points. Fang really helping him out. Well, they always say the hardest part is getting over the finish line, and he does look a little more tired. Now Fang has invested a lot of energy and emotion into this first match, which is something he was going to have to do right from the start. He has done that, but does he have enough left in the tank to see this through? Ovtcharov now relying on his bags and bags of experience at the top level of this sport. And Fang has lost his way a little now. 6 game points for Dima. Just when you thought he was in trouble. Back where he needs to be. Can't take it first time asking, still has 5 game points to play with though. And will more likely than not send us into a decider. And there it is, Ovtcharov takes a game 4, 11-5, much to the delight of his coaches and teammates. Well, already we go to the wire. In match 1 of the first leg of this final. Well, it's been entertaining to say the least. We wondered if we'd get a memorable final. It's well on its way to becoming exactly that already. Really have produced some wonderful table tennis, these two. For the neutrals, a wonderful occasion and a fantastic opportunity to just sit back and enjoy the show, really. For the UMMC and Orenburg fans, it's nail-biting stuff. The home supporters all on the edge of their seats here for this first match. And I can't imagine it'll be any different in matches 2, 3, and possibly 4, 5. So the 5th and final game in this first match. Not quite underway just yet. Fang catching the net on the serve. Now with the opportunity to get off to a scoring start. Good defensive play from Ovtcharov though, and his patience and resilience pays off in the end. Fang perhaps a little too eager to get the job done there. Slightly wild attempt at the forehand. Well, Ovtcharov looking very confident here. Really did storm through that last game. A man on a mission now. Well, nothing wrong with that return. And Bo on the scoreboard now as well, trails by 1. Oh, superb backhand down the line, using the action on the ball to just keep it traveling wide and away from Fang Bo. That was never going to get to that one. Oh, how about that for an answer though? Well, whoever you're supporting, you have to take your hat off to both these players. Look at that forehand down the line. And back to 3-3 now. 2 massive points for him. And a quick reminder to Dima that this will be no walk in the park here in this 5th and final game. Well, easy one for Ovtcharov that time. Say easy, made it look easy. Lovely technique there as he jogs around the official. Back to the table now, and back to business it would seem. Fang Bo doing a great job to hold on, but one shot too many in the end. A wonderful pressure applied there by Dima. Superb return there by Fang Bo as the ball played straight into the body. But then couldn't adjust in time after that. Ovtcharov leads 5-3. Oh, world class. Really is in the mood now. You can tell when he goes off jogging after making his points. That's when Dima is at his most dangerous. He's got that look in his eyes now as well, focused. Determined and deadly. Nice to see he is human though. And as we've already seen, a 2-point cushion, not necessarily enough to get the job done here midway through this final game. sloppy from Fang. Really needs to be doing better there. As Ovtcharov edges closer to victory. 4 points away now. Well, even when Dima's missing, it's not by much at the moment. Two wonderful backhands before finding the net with the third. But credit to Fang. He needed to find something from somewhere, and that's exactly what he did. Closes the gap to 2 again. Kept alive beautifully by Dima here. If he comes away with the points, that will be why he's one of the best. Which is exactly what he does. Turning the tide there. Big point for Dima, now 8-5 up. Make that 9-5. Fang in trouble. And after such a valiant effort as well. But as said, those 2 games, or 2-1 games so far, this 5th one not over yet as well. Let's not forget. But those 2 games won could make the difference. At the end of both legs, you just never know. Well, that miss could make the difference here in game 5 as well. 5 match points for Dima. And he takes it, first time asking, with a world-class backhand. Pace, power and accuracy, the name of the game. And what a comeback from Ovtcharov. Fang will, well, it's a tough pill to swallow. After such a riveting start, a wonderful effort from him. He can be more than proud of his performance, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. And Dima takes game 5, 11-5, as he did in game 4 as well, to come storming back from 2-1 behind and take match 1, 3-2 in typical Dimitrij Ovtcharov fashion. Well, what a start to this final already, and it's only getting going, ladies and gentlemen. So do stick around, because we've got plenty of action still coming your way from Vechnaya Pishma here in Russia in this all-Russian TTCLM final. And if that first match is anything to go by, then boy, oh boy, are we in for some entertainment, to say the least. As always, get involved on all the social media channels. Join us on ettu.org as well. Get involved, have your say. What did you guys think of that first match? Not too shabby, if you ask me. And what does it mean for UMMC now? The away side off to a winning start. Not exactly what the doctor ordered. However, UMMC somewhat the underdogs in this final, with plenty of positives to take away from that first match. A really strong effort, and so close to getting over the finish line there, Fang. Wonderful learning experience for him And should these two meet again, well, Fang will go into their next encounter thinking and knowing that he can beat Ovtcharov. Just didn't quite happen for him this time. Well, that's why Ovtcharov is considered one of the best in the world, because, well, he delivers on the big stage time and time again, even when he's in trouble. And like today, perhaps not necessarily playing at his best, he's able to dig deep and find what it's needed to get the job done. Fine example to any young players out there. And so too Fang and his performance. And next up here, it will be Gasina against Yanan. Can Gasina drag his side back into this final?